My name is Kathleen Dillion, and I am an elected member of the Churchville-Chilai Board of Education, and I'm also a resident of the town of Chilai.
Can I remind you to speak directly into the mic?
You're doing pretty good.
Thank you.
I'm a resident of the town of Chilai and a member of the Churchville-Chilai Board of Education. And I would like to be succinct tonight and speak to you about three major points. My first point, of course, is to talk about Maggie Brooks' fair plan. It's unfair to take away sales tax money in direct violation of the Monroe Agreement. It's not only unfair, but it could prove to be illegal. It's inconceivable that Maggie Brooks would pass the tax burden to the school districts and then advertise accountability. Robbing Peter to pay Paul is not accountable. It's politics at its worst. In terms of being innovative, Governor Spitzer did increase state aid to schools to pay for additional targeted programs for specific areas that a school district might need specific help in. He did not give us this additional funding to take care of the Medicaid burden. And with the money that Governor Spitzer did give to the school districts, there were accountable measures that were put into place. And it is important to know that if the district didn't meet the target area, we didn't get the money. In terms of results, well, they're going to get results, and the results will be at the backs of the school districts and the backs of the suburban taxpayers and the backs of our children. We did have results in Churchville-Chilai, and I was incensed that Maggie Brooks went on TV and said that it didn't matter, school districts would raise taxes anyway. I will tell you in Churchville-Chilai, we did have unanticipated revenues, and we took that money, gave it back to the taxpayers, and we actually had a tax decrease this year. That has not been reported anywhere. So we did have a tax decrease. We are very responsible, and we tried very hard to provide a quality education at a cost that our local taxpayers can't afford. So to say that she's solving this, she is solving it. She's solving it at the backs of our children. My next point is I really feel this burning desire to speak to you about what I think is a violation of our democratic process. I am so incensed about how this was handled. I can't even begin to tell you how angry I am. Maggie Brooks violated our rights and gave us very poor representation of the democratic process by only giving you an hour to review this plan. She should have spent more time discussing this with the stakeholders, the towns, the villages, and the school taxpayers, rather than planning her campaign financed by her friends. That dialogue should have been spent with how we're really going to manage this problem, rather than trying to do a public campaign that's biased, factually incorrect, and is trying to bully us into accepting her plan. It's an outrage. And to hear her on TV with her comments that anyone that disagrees with her, her comments have been totally inappropriate, and I as a taxpayer resent that kind of representation from a county executive. I also have to take my Board of Education hat off for a minute and sit before you as a suburban, middle-class, taxpayer, town of Chilai resident. I just got $300 and some from the STAR plan, and Maggie says she's going to decrease my county taxes by a small amount. But my school taxes are really in limbo right now, given what we're faced with. And our town taxes are in limbo right now because Chilai got hit very hard with the extra burden of the MCC tax increase. Frankly, I'm putting children through college right now. I can't afford to send anybody else through college. I can barely afford my own children. And to stand here as a taxpayer and tell me this one's giving me money back, but this one may take it, we're all the same taxpayers. How many ways can you cut me and hose me? It's the same way, and you're taking money out of one pocket and putting it into another. I'm sorry. We forget that we are all citizens. We are all taxpayers. And when one government entity takes, they're only putting the burden on another government entity, and they're all the same people. So I really do appreciate the time that you've given us to speak tonight.